Now, a new poll by Social Research Foundation shows that the EFF and DA are losing support, while the ANC gained support in the last 8 months. The survey conducted before the EFF national shutdown 2 weeks ago shows the party would bag 6%, assuming a 66% voter turnout. The research also reveals that the ANC would garner 52% of support, with the Democratic Alliance getting 24%. For more on this, elections analyst Wayne Sussman joins us now. Very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. I mean, in gauging where the DA is standing, as this poll is released, it talks about a catch which would speak to the impact of voter turnout. Looking at the dynamics, what is it looking like on your end?
Thank you, Paul. Let me just take a step back and then I'll answer the question. One can be quite dismissive of national party congresses. We know that the ANC gathered in December to elect their leadership. The Democratic Alliance, the official opposition, is doing that this weekend. But I think it is very, very important for parties to do this, because parties, particularly if they are united, can control the narrative, and they can use this opportunity to challenge preconceived notions skeptics might have of a party. And I think that this is a very, very important Congress for the Democratic Alliance right now, particularly with what you just raised with regards to the question, with regards to the Social Research Foundation poll, which puts the Democratic Alliance at 24% and the ANC at just over 50%, and says that the EFF has lost some ground. Now, the Democratic Alliance has been in a difficult position since the period just up to the 2019 national and provincial elections, when what I refer to as the Schweizer-Reinicke moment, which seemed to split the Democratic Alliance somewhat. And we know after that the Democratic Alliance went backwards in the 2019 elections. There were also some poor by-election results after that. This all culminated in Mmusi Maimane stepping down as the leader of the party. And then, obviously, there was the formation of Action SA and other DA breakaways, and the Democratic Alliance also losing ground in the 2021 local government elections. So, for the Social Research Foundation's poll, and I want to remind the viewers that the Democratic Alliance got 22% of the vote, 21.86% of the vote in 2021. For this poll to say they're 24%, that would be an improvement, and that would guarantee John Steenhuisen's continued role in leading the official opposition. But I would say that recent by-election results do not suggest that the DA will improve on what it's achieved in the 2021 elections, i.e. move from 22% to 24%. Then just briefly on the economic freedom fighters, for them to fall so drastically would come as a surprise to me. I think the party should remind the viewers the EFF's growth in the 2019 elections came because of a remarkable showing in provinces like KwaZulu-Natal and to some extent the Eastern Cape, i.e. this was a party which did well in the northern parts of South Africa, in the non-coastal parts of South Africa, and in 2019 makes a big breakthrough. What we've seen in by-elections in 2023 suggests that the EFF does indeed have coastal challenges. So I can believe that the EFF is losing ground. I don't think they have, what by-election results are suggesting is they might not be losing as much ground as this poll suggests.
Yeah. You touched a little bit on the importance of the Congress when it comes to the DA's political strategy and the messages that need to be conveyed this weekend. What do you think is going to stand out there?
Yeah, I think we've got to give credit where credit's due. The fact that both John Steenhuisen and Dr. Mpho Phalatse got to address the delegates today and say why they should be the leader. I mean, for me, I can't recall seeing this at any other party congress, and I don't think I've ever seen this at a DA congress. So I think, and yes, there were more cheers for John Steenhuisen. I expect him to be re-elected tomorrow, but there wasn't any booing of Mpho Phalatse. It wasn't a divisive atmosphere. And the party is trying to put across a message that, look, the party is rebuilding, the party went through tough times, and this Congress will prove that the party is united and is on the path to growth. However, what the DA has to think of is that and I always go back to the 2016 local government elections where the DA got 27% of the vote, is that all minority groups overwhelmingly voted for the Democratic Alliance, except for coloured voters in rural parts of the Northern Cape and some of the urban parts of the Northern Cape. And the DA made a breakthrough amongst black middle-class voters in that 2016 local government elections. If I look at what by-election results are saying now, and if I look at the 2021 local government elections where Action SA debuted, amongst all those groups, the Democratic Alliance has particular challenges. So what they want to show at this Congress is, yes, there were challenges in the party, yes, there were missteps in the party, but the party is now united, and the party is still the official opposition, and the party is the best vehicle to bring the ANC under 50%. It's one thing being able to control the narrative at a Congress. It's another thing being able to prove that in by-elections, and it's even going to be harder to do that in the 2024 elections.
So my colleague Govan Whittles was asking the DA's Solim Simanga whether or not the DA has a black caucus and what that would essentially mean looking at what's happened over the years.
Yeah, I don't. There used to be a black caucus. I don't know if there is. I haven't heard reference to a black caucus in recent times. I mean, what's going to be interesting in this leadership race is that on Sunday afternoon, of course, people will be focused on the leader, whether it's Steenhuisen or Palazzi. I expect it to be Steenhuisen. But also, just like with the ANC's now top 7, is the federal executive. Someone like Ivan Meyer, who I'm sure is going to be the re-elected. Helen Zille, I expect to be re-elected. But for the deputy federal chairperson positions, can the Democratic Alliance put across a diverse group of people which are better reflect the demographics of South Africa in 2023 than they have going into this Congress? That's going to be something interesting for me to observe, because that would be a chance for the DA to say, look, we are a party which can represent the hopes and aspirations of all South Africans, not just a select few. That's going to be absolutely key for them. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thanks for weighing in on this discussion. Elections analyst Wayne Sussman speaking about the dynamics at play as we head to day 2 of the DA's National Congress.